Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Finish Friday at the Howards. We're at home just like you guys, and I want to tell you, Jean Howard is not real excited about today. It's been like, honey, come on, we have to do this. So we stripped the wallpaper off of the bathroom. You see that we have come in and we put some paper on top of our mirror, so that way we don't have a reflection, but also it's protecting it. And then I have to tell you, I'm just like y'all, I have had the hand-painted color cards that we have available now on the website. If you go to amyhowardhome.com and you go under One Step, you'll see these hand-painted cards. And that's the actual paint color. So I've carried this around in my purse for 3 days trying to make a decision on what color I wanted to do in here.
How many colors were there?
There's 100 colors.
100?
So I want to show you what we've got together, what we're going to be doing for our bathroom vanities. And so many people, you email us and we get messenger and all kinds of things, like you want to paint your bathroom vanity too. And so I have my expert here today, Jean Howard.
Grizzly painting.
He's going to help us how to be able to do this, and it's going to make it so easy. But you're going to need several things. So let me just go over it with you. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need Clean Slate.
What does
Jean,
that do?
Tell us, you know, a lot of people will say, well, I'm going to use TSP, or I'm going to use, tell them why they need to use this instead.
Well, the reason we formulated Clean Slate, it is considered a refinisher's grade furniture cleaner because it'll get wax, oil, grease, grime, surfactants, anything off that would prevent adhesion, and it will also prevent, it'll remove silicones as well, which if you're doing a clear finish will happen to cause the clear finish to reticulate, and can do the same thing with paint if you don't get all of that off. And the Clean Slate will do that, and you don't have to go back and rinse it off or do anything like that. Cleaners such as TSP or you think a paint thinner or mineral spirits, or that it's going to get all that off. But what happens, it doesn't remove it all off, and it also will leave surfactants which would actually prevent good adhesion of the paint. So that's why we did the Clean Slate.
And here's something even funny. We keep this in under our kitchen sink because Jean gets mad at me because I put my makeup on in the car, and that visor gets dirty, and he can remove the makeup in the car. So
it's a makeup remover.
It's a makeup remover,
but not for your skin.
No, right. So okay. So you need to clean your cabinets with Clean Slate first. Then you're going to need your color. Now here's the great thing. When you see this label that it's half and half, this is our brand new formula. And everybody talks about, why is this new formula so great? One, it has essential oils in it, so it makes working with it a pure pleasure. The second thing is it has no VOCs. Jean, tell people what VOC stand for.
Volatile organic chemicals or compound, which the higher that number is, the more detrimental it is to your health if you're inhaling it. This has 0, so it's great if you have asthma, if you're sensitive to smells.
Babies, children.
If you want to use this on baby furniture, it's great for that. So it's really good. We just say don't drink it. It's not.
So it has no VOCs, it has essential oils. The coverage is amazing. We have increased the coverage, so we call it one step, not one coat. So like on these bathroom vanities, we're going to do 2 thin coats. We don't want to try to get by with one coat. A lot of people make the mistake of that. They put on too much thinking they've got to get all the coverage the first time, and then they get some drips. Cracking. So we've got our brand new formula of One Step, and the color that I have picked out that we're going to show you in just a minute, it's called Summer Ragada. I love it. It's a little bit of blue, but it's a little bit of gray, and it's happy, and it's going to be nice and clean in here with my marble. All right, so then the next thing you're going to need, if you want to be able to seal it, the good thing is a lot of people always ask, do I have to seal this? The answer is no. If you want to be able to stay with that finish that we have. It is more of a matte finish. So if you want it like in a bathroom, if you want it to be easier to keep clean, we tell people use our Mind Your Own Beeswax. This is so easy to apply with a rag or with a chip brush, and that's all you're going to need. So you clean it, you paint it, and then you can use the wax. So, all right, so Jean, take us through. I've got several things here as far as brushes, and I know you've got a preference, and there's a reason for this. This may start, it's not going to start an argument, is it? It's going to be okay.
It depends.
Okay, so here's the deal. I told Jean, and this is something I love from an interior design standpoint, I want the cabinets painted the summer Ragada that I just showed you. I'm also going to paint the walls, the same paint, the summer Ragada, and the baseboard and the door frames and the trim. So the cool thing about it is a lot of people don't realize in older homes, our house is what, 70 years old?
1940s.
1940. So our house, this house was built in the 1940s. We've got plaster walls, and most of the trim is painted with oil paint. So if you're going to be painting over oil paint, Jean, tell most people, like, what's the problem? Like, if they've got bathroom vanities and they've got an older home, a lot of times it is going to be oil, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even, a lot of the older homes have a stain and then a shellac or varnish clear coat over that. And anything that's oil-based, the rule of thumb is you have to use an oil-based paint to go on top of oil-based. But with our one-step, it's formulated, it's water-based, but it will adhere to lacquer, oil-based, varnish, shellac, so that you don't have to strip it in order to use it.
So, and you don't have to sand it. So that's the other thing. A lot of people think you've got to come in here with sandpaper. We're not. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to clean it with a clean slate, and then we're going to paint it. So as far as getting back to my question, so the reason I have this roller in here is because it's a foam roller, and I'm going to be using it on the wall, and I'm going to use the same paint on the wall and the trim as I am with my kitchen cabinets. There's no need for me to switch. Jean wasn't really excited about painting the walls, but it's going to look so pretty, and then he's going to be so happy. So, Jean, as far as our two brushes, we've got our wedge brush, and then we've got our nylon tapered brush. Which one do you want to be able to use?
For the Vanity, I'm going to use the tapered brush, and the reason being we've got small areas, and we've got some beveled edges, so it's going to be easier for me to work in these areas with this brush. So that, because this one, the wedge, it's so thick, it's great for large flat surfaces.
It's one of my favorite brushes.
And it's a good brush. But again, because we're working in such small areas, we're going to use this one, especially for cutting when it comes to the point of doing these face frames. It'll be so much easier with that for me, and also cutting in on these edges. Like over here, because I'll bring it in and cut in, and that way it's not going to get a bunch of overage on the wall.
Okay, so here's the other thing. If you are catching us live on Facebook or Instagram, welcome. Send us some love, and we love knowing where you're popping in from. So tell us what part of the country or the world that you're in, and then it's an opportunity to be able to ask questions if you want to. And Jean and I and our team go back and we answer these questions. So the other thing is, if you aren't part of our before and after group, we have an Amy Howard at Home on Facebook before and after group. Please join it, because it's a beautiful community of people that are painting bathroom vanities and kitchen cabinets during this quarantine time that we're going to be able to make our homes more beautiful. So, all right, Jean, look at this color. Is this so pretty? Look at this. So I hope it shows up. It's kind of a blue. It's got a little bit of blue in it, gray, but it's really happy. I love it. It's just it's beautiful. It's gonna look so good in here.
And also, when you open a can and you've got that wet paint, the paint in the can is going to be a little lighter than what it actually dries. It will dry darker than it is when it's wet. So just as
that's a good thing to remember. Now, we need to stir it, right?
Stir it. And I assume we want to start with a drawer.
Yes, sir. It smells good. It smells so good. It's so nice to work with a paint that has essential oils in it. It smells good.
So first thing we're going to do, we don't want to paint the hardware. We want to keep the hardware just as it is. We might replace it, but we're not going to paint the hardware. So we'll just take that piece off.
Okay, you do want to get a little Ziploc bag. I didn't get any of these from the kitchen before we came up here. You get a little Ziploc bag, put all your backs and your hardware on it because you don't want to lose them. Especially if you go in and when you start taking your doors off, you want to keep up with your hinges.
All right. Now once we've got that, we're going to do our clean slate.
The reason I took off my shoes is because I'm just going to tell you, with the one-step paint, once you get it on something, it's done. It's like it's going to stick. So that way, it's great. You can paint fabric, you can paint your shoes, because it's not going to come off. So that's one of the great things is you don't have to prime it.
I don't know if you can see that, but see how it's getting that oil.
Okay, that's embarrassing.
Wax.
That's embarrassing.
Well,
that means our bathroom vanities are really dirty.
Well, the upstairs was phase 2 of our renovations, and phase 2 is starting today.
It's here. Phase 2 of the Howard house has started. I'm so excited. So that's why we've stripped all the wallpaper off of these walls. You can see everything's cracking. It looks terrible, but it's going to look so much better. I'm so excited. That looks better already.
Mm-hmm. So once we do that, now I'm going to come back and just take the excess clean slate off because we don't want to paint with the clean slate, wet.
This is a question, Jean, that a lot of people ask. Once they clean it with a clean slate, do they need to wipe it down with water?
No, there's no need to rinse it off. You just wipe it dry.
Okay.
They're ready to go.
Great. Show them how. Let's just show them. I'm going to pull this over here. So look how much Gene has dipped that into, how much in his brush he's dipped.
See, and I don't want to load the brush up to here because I'll never use all of that and it's just going to end up drying on my bristles. So I just need a little bit to start with. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go around and I'm going to start with the edge. I'm just going to put a coat. And then remember, we don't want a big thick coat. We're just putting one.
Yeah, this first time, we just need 2 thin coats. You're going to get amazing coverage, especially because we're putting a color on top of kind of a cream color. I'm embarrassed. The inside of that drawer is really dirty.
Yeah, please don't look at that.
Don't look at the inside of the drawer. It's bad.
Again, this was...
Howard's house is dirty.
This is phase
2. But guys, think about it. The top drawer, it's like our kids have been up here. What do? They brush their teeth. They stick their toothbrush in the top drawer. So it's like, I've got to make sure it's clean and it looks good next time we do this. Do you love this color?
So far, so good.
I want you excited. I want you to go, oh, honey, you did a great job. I love this color. It looks fabulous in here.
I'll take you out tonight.
Okay. He's going to take me out. So, are y'all like us? It's like, where are we going to have dinner? Are we going to eat in the kitchen? Maybe we'll eat in the dining room, or maybe we'll eat in the den, or maybe we'll go outside and we'll sit. It's going to be pretty. So maybe we can go outside. Okay, so can y'all see this?
And one of the tips, see, I'm brushing off. If I brush on, what's going to happen, it's going to get a buildup on that edge as I drag the brush on. So that's why I'm brushing.
Can you come up? Is it? Oh, and so the color, if y'all are tuning in, I am so excited about this color. It's called Summer Ragada. It does. It's just
leave that candle on.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Look at it. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's going to be so pretty with this Calcutta Gold marble top. And there are a lot of people that ask us, Jean, about can I paint my bathroom vanity tops like they're Formica? The answer is yes.
You can.
If you want to paint your Formica tops, you just do want to make sure that you don't use the brush like Jean's doing, but you want to use a foam roller if you're going to do your Formica countertops. Look at that. How easy is that? But look what a thin coat he's doing. Honey, that's beautiful.
And then we'll let that dry and we'll be ready for coat number 2.
Isn't that happy? Now look, see over here with that, can y'all see it with the marble, how pretty that's going to be? The cool thing about it is when you're working with grays and taupes and kind of creams, they never go out of style, but it is fun to do darker colors. We're going to do a darker color in our she shed. I haven't told you that yet. You're going to love it, I promise.
So, and then we'll just let this air dry. We'll give it somewhere in the neighborhood of an hour to let it dry, just so that it's good to, we don't want it, and you'll know it's dry because when we put it on, when it's wet, it has a sheen. As it dries, it'll be very dull. So we'll wait till they get that dull finish, and it takes about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the temperature and humidity of the room. It's always best to paint when it's a little more on the warm side than the cold side, because if it's cold, it takes longer to dry.
Okay, so let's take them through, because we're not going to be able to do this today. But so we let this dry for about an hour. We do the same thing, long clean strokes like you did. Don't load up too much paint. Put on a second coat. Do they need to sand in between this at all?
No, there's no need to sand between the coats.
So they don't have to sand to get it ready. They just clean it with a clean slate. Put on 2 thin coats. And then if they want to, they can put on the Mind Your Own Beeswax. I'll be honest with you, I probably won't use this. I may test it and see if I want the sheen. What the beeswax does, it gives you a protective coat. It actually has natural beeswax in it. It's really easy to use. You just squeeze some on a rag and apply it. But I love that beautiful kind of matte finish that you get from our one-step paint. Now, I know we didn't talk about this, but I do have a favor. Because I want to see this color on the wall, can we just tape off a part and you show people how to be able to use this paint if they're going to paint a wall? I've got a thing for you to put the roller in. Is that okay?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Sure. You're being a dream.
And also, I want to caveat, let me show you something on this vanity. We've got some areas where the paint, which actually it's the caulking, has started to lift because of the age. And we talk about no sanding. Well, there's no need to sand in order to do any kind of a priming or prepping. But if you've got areas where there's lifting, we want to remove that before we start painting, because the paint's not glue. It's not going to glue it down. So before we do this whole thing, I will go through and remove any areas that have lifted, and then I'll take some sandpaper and just slightly sand it to smooth out the divot from where that paint has.
But they don't have to sand the paint. That's one thing I wanted to know.
That was my preference.
Okay. So if you want, I'll move out of the way, and then that way let you get over here to be able to show them. You're probably going to use the same brush, aren't you?
I just flipped the camera around on accident.
So you got to see our handsome cameraman. Okay. Are there any questions?
People are commenting that it's kind of freezing a little bit, but we'll have recording coming out shortly.
Yeah, so here's the deal. We will be recording this today, so that way you'll be able to see it. Our house has plaster walls, so these walls are about this thick, and so probably our reception for being able to do this on the internet, that's part of the problem. So, all right, Jean, we're getting your backside.
Well, I don't. You said do it here.
Can y'all get a close up of him over here? So I want him to show you. So what he's doing now is he's cutting in where we're going to be painting the wall. So we can use the one-step paint on our wall, which does have some oil on it. That's part of the beauty of it, that we can go over the wall with the one-step. And then, oh my gosh, I'm loving that color. See, that's why I wanted you to be able to put that on there so everybody could see it. If you're just now popping on, this is Summer Ragada is the one-step color, and this is our upstairs bathroom vanity area that we are redoing. So
now you can, and I recommend that you tape off your countertop before painting. I'm cutting in right now, and if you're an experienced painter, I'm not necessarily experienced, but I've done it enough, I can cut in. For me, it's quicker than taping it off. But tape off first, and then what we'll do, we'll just brush, because I know that my roller will not cut into this area very well. So I'm just doing a little area with the brush, and then when I roll, I'll just roll as close as I can to the countertop. And that's about as far as we're going to go, because if we do too much, we've got to finish prepping the walls for this.
I totally get it.
But this allows you to see your color.
So he was just being nice. He wanted me to be able to see the color. I was so excited about it. So he's going to put on just enough, and then we're going to have to continue working. But we know there's so many of you that want to paint your bathroom vanities while we're in quarantine and your kitchen cabinets. We want you to see how easy it is as 1, 2, 3. All you do is clean it with the Clean Slate. You paint it with the one step, the same thing, and then you can use the Mind Your Own Beeswax if you want to be able to finish it. All right, so I want y'all to be able to see him as he's painting. So this is he's just using a foam roller to be able to let you see how the color is. And so I'm going to be painting our trim as well as the walls as well as the bathroom vanity. Thank you. I love that color, Jean. That's going to be great. So a lot of people do ask, can we use on the walls? Absolutely. So anyway, to be continued, that we're going to continue painting our bathroom vanity. And
I'll write you up an invoice.
So thanks so much for joining us. Be sure and ask your questions. We're going to go back in and we're going to be answering them because we want you to be able to use this time. We're shipping every day, so that way you can have a more beautiful bathroom or a more beautiful kitchen too.